come on. Okay, that's okay. So essentially, he said, Vinny, you're not going to believe it. Marcus and Millie Chap rep met with them too.
Uh-huh.
A different guy.
Yeah.
Now, Jim doesn't have a listing,
Uh-huh.
but the
But they
other,
still managed to get to him.
yeah, they do.
Yeah,
Every
yeah,
broker is trying to reach them
Okay.
because they get a
Oh, the
whim.
broker reached
The
them.
broker, another company's broker
Okay.
reached them,
Okay.
and they said, your property is worth $9 million.
Uh-huh.
Here I'm paying 8.5, and they are saying, list with us and we'll try to get you 9 million.
Uh-huh.
So now I was in a jeopardy, right?
Yeah.
I said to Jim, Jim, tell your sellers, I know a lot of times the brokers oversell you.
Overpromise.
Overpromise and underdeliver. They might say that you could get it 9 million, but they might only get you 8.7. You know, it might be worth only 8.6.
Yep.
You know, so I started talking to Jim about that. And Jim said, okay, I'll talk to the seller. So this is going on. I mean, I've never worked so hard to buy one property. This was my number one property, which got me into 10 new ones. After this, 9 more in the vicinity of this one. And now it's worth 11.7 million. Fannie Mae lender called me. He's a good friend of mine, Executive Vice President Matt. You know, I don't want to say their last names. From Berkeley Point. And so, you know, and the good part is that he says, Vinny, what are you doing to this property? In 2 years, the NOI has gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Because we started the RUB system, which is the bill back, utilities bill back. It's called ratio utilities bill back system, RUB system, which the seller was not using it.
They were paying for all the
They were paying for
utilities.
all
Okay.
the utilities, the water, trash, gas, termite, everything. That cuts into your income.
Yep.
That's my value play. I look for bad management
Yep.
and then bring my management into it, my company, my own
You can
staff.
trust 'em.
Yeah, exactly. And then try to cut the cost, the expenses, and increase the revenue. And I did tell, also in my projections, I did it, Joshua, where I would like to increase by $50 per month rent because I looked around in the city and
Other
I
market
found
rents.
other market rents
Yeah.
and saw that we were lower.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, especially if your property, this is a good thing, good teaching thing. If your property is 98, 99, 100% occupied, it means your rents are lower than the market because a lot more people are flocking to, you know, coming into it,
Right.
to your place, you know. So we need to increase the rents to get to the market. That's called loss of lease.
Loss of lease.
Loss of lease. Loss of lease is what's the market rent, Joshua, right? What's the market rent and what is the rent that the people are paying now? So the difference of the two is the loss of lease because we are linked with that resident and 6 months are left still for their lease to expire.
Okay.
But the differential, they are paying $50 less. So we are losing for 6 months time $300 is the loss of lease.
Okay.
So for 192 units in this special one, Albion, oh my gosh, we found loss of lease was huge.
Yeah.
It was like probably $18,000 I thought. And now $18,000, if we can increase the rent, think with me, that's $18,000 per month times 12. So what's that? 18 times 12 is close to, you know, we're talking about
Close to
160 or 200,000
200, yeah.
with a cap rate of 9 or 8. You divide that 200,000 by 9. 0.09 or 9 point, yeah, 0.09, that's $2 million increase in value.
You're right.
So that's the effect in multifamily by just increasing the rent so small, but the number of units added on to it, multiplying, and then the year it increases the NOI because fixed costs stay the same. The payroll stays the same, the taxes stay the same, the insurance stays the same, you know, the maintenance, maybe materials might be a little bit more, but the salary of the maintenance tech stays the same. So whatever increase is over there on the top of the line, we call it in the rents, actually gives to the NOI at the bottom. So that's why we are able to increase this now by $3 million. To make long story short, kind of go back to, so I said to this broker, you know what, go ahead and tell the seller, hey, the best he can get is 8.6.
Yeah.
No more than that. And then they came with 8.8, I think, and then I said to Jim, I said, hey, you got to plug in some numbers, buddy. I'm going to make you 400,000 commission, so pitch in some number on that side. And then they did it, by the way. They did it. They paid 100, I think, towards it, and we locked in at 8.7. Happily involved. So I went up 200, they came down 100, and they put in 100, and it's a win-win-win-win situation.
Everyone wins. Yeah.
That's the key. That's the key. And I've done it many times, very successfully. With the brokers, where especially the one I'm closing now in Atlanta, $23 million deal, which we closed on one already. 22. Maybe we could just